So the things that goes into a perfect education is you need both high-tech and no-tech environments, right? People need to know how to meditate. They need to do martial arts, completely unaided. And then you need people to be like there with the cutting-edge tech. Yes, in VR, probably with BCIs here soon. But you need people working in algorithmic environments with paired programming, doing co-pilot. This is what needs to happen.
Hi everyone, really excited to introduce you to my very dear friend, Bethanie Maples, who I've known for a very, very long time. Back at University of Auckland, when we were both at the AUSA Executive Committee. So gone a long way from government to tech to now Silicon Valley. So I've known her for a very long time, but for those who haven't known her, Bethanie works on machine learning, embodied AI, and learning science, both at Google X as well as Stanford, where she's pursuing a doctorate in education and AI policy. She works on strategy and international policy in technology and education with the OECD and UN. She holds a master's from Stanford, both in BA and BSci, and the University of Auckland. Other than all of these pursuits, Bethanie is a phenomenal circus act, so you can talk to her about that. She used to do that for a while. And she has two beautiful twin boys who we all adore and get to see every now and then. So thank you, Bethanie, for your time, and look forward to what you've got to share with us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Divya. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, this is going to be really short. It's going to be a little bit weird, but it's going to be very joyful. Cool. Okay, they said, talk a little bit about me. I'm going to do the little bit. Family from the South Island, Nelson area, grandparents from Christchurch. Lived there for a while, spent some time in India, moved back to Austin, Texas, where my mom's from, and frankly, dropped out of high school the day I turned 18 and started a circus. And I took that around the world for years. And we taught, inner city youth, street kids, vocational skills. We taught them circus. It was great. It was, small scale, but, it made a difference. And then I was at a tea garden in India, and I was chatting with my dad, and he said, you should really go to university. And I was like, okay, I'm down to go to University of Auckland, but, I've passed the due date, so I should probably, I'll do it in 6 months. And this guy leans over, and he's like, hi, couldn't help but hear what you said. My name's Errol Harhoff. I'm the dean at the University of Auckland, and I just want you to know that late admission is still open. So I enrolled and was there 2 weeks later. And a year later, I was the president of AUSA, which was hilarious. I, took off my big boots and put on, pastel sweaters. It was quite the costume change. And then after doing my degrees, I came back to the USA, did some tech startups. Mostly machine learning, natural language processing, big data stuff. And ended up going back to Stanford, did a master's degree in education. And at the time, there wasn't really anybody focusing on AI in education, and I started doing that. What are the uses of emerging ML, embodied AI techniques in informal learning and formal education? And then I wrote a piece for the D School while I was there about designing the Young Ladies Illustrated Primer, because it turns out I really love science fiction. I was trying to think how do we design these crazy AI experiences that we see in sci-fi? And I wrote this thing, I posted on Medium, it went viral, got on Hacker News somehow, rad, and got more involved with the OECD and UNESCO, thinking about new algorithms for international comparative assessments. And now as Divya said, I'm at Google X working on stuff that I can definitely not talk about, and also doing my PhD. So that's a little bit about me, but let's get to the good stuff. If this works, hang on. Science fiction and education. Okay, who's seen Dune? Who's read Dune? Okay, the cool thing is Dune got it right, and Paul Atreides received the ultimate education. We're going to talk about this for 2 minutes. So what goes into the perfect education? I'm a new mom, some of you are parents, some of you are still learning. So the things that goes into a perfect education is you need both high-tech and no-tech environments, right? People need to know how to meditate, they need to do martial arts, completely unaided. And then you need people to be like there with the cutting edge tech. Yes, in VR, probably with BCIs here soon. You know, you need people working in, you know, algorithmic environments with paired programming, you know, doing Copilot. It's what needs to happen. You need really rich assessment. Like, you need to test in a way that isn't interrupting learning and that puts people in really real scenarios. And I'm going to give you examples of all of this in a second, so like, don't worry, it's jargony, and I'm sorry for that. Multidimensional learning spaces, so you actually like need really cool places to learn. You need apprenticeship relationships, and you need the use of World 3 objects. So Karl Popper has this like concept of World 3 objects. You kind of need to know that you're a learner, and you need actually like a philosophy of learning, and that really helps you be a good learner. So, okay, this is the fun stuff. Okay, so let's take this to Dune. So Paul, he's like this perfect example, right? He can fight using a shield, like tech, but he's also in like perfect control of his metabolism and his biology, and he's able to fight without a shield. Great example of high tech, no tech. Rich assessment. You know, Gurney Halleck like does a knife fight with him. You know, he is being taught in real world scenarios with high stakes, and not just in like some, you know, virtual field. So when the, you know, something hits the fan and he actually has to execute, he's able to. Holistic and multidimensional learning spaces. So, for example, his father's taking him into his war council. He's taking him into the spice fields. It's not an extracted education in a you know, school. You're actually going out where it matters into those learning environments. Super critical. Apprenticeship, obviously, he has some of the best experts in the galaxy working with him. From, you know, being able to be like a human computer, a mentat, to knife fighting, to his mother giving him kind of full body like control. And then use of World 3 objects. So, you know, as you guys probably know, there's like this famous litany against fear in Dune, which is like, fear is the mind killer, fear is the little death that brings total oblivion. But the fact that he has almost these mantras or these tools that is helping him understand and disassociate his cognition, his physicality from his need to like execute is actually a critical component to learning. Cool. That's my presentation. If you want book recommendations, I have them. If you have book recommendations, please give them to me, and you can get in touch if you want to.